Alright, hey guys, how's it going? So I got a really cool song for you today. I just heard this for the first time a couple days ago on a Pandora shuffle. I'd never heard of this band before, I'd never heard this song before, but man, it's super catchy. Probably the best reggae song I've heard since like anything Sublime put out. And yeah man, it's just been stuck in my head all night and day. So I thought I'd sit down and mess around with it. And in typical reggae fashion, it's a very simple tune. It's literally just 2 chords the entire time. It's just D minor to C major. But his vocal melody is so cool. The vibe and tonality of the song is very like I don't know, it kind of has this dark overtone to it. It kind of sounds like something you'd hear in like some kind of like seedy underworld type of movie, but it's really cool. So because he sings the way he does, we can play all the melody, which is D minor and C major triads for the verse and the chorus. So we're going to use this as a triad exercise, as an exercise working on our timing, on our rhythm, working on our right hand. And I'll just show you some different ways you can play some of the chords. You can make a loop if you want to mess around with that. But let's just go ahead and get into the intro. Alright, so for the intro and for the whole song, it's just 2 chords, just D minor and C major. And you can play these anywhere on the neck, any string set, whatever you want to do, whatever your ears want to hear. I just thought these sounded the best playing in these positions. But normally when I play something like this in this style, I would do like a poppy down hit and then an upstroke. I'd play something like, but they don't do that on the record, right? All they're doing is the up hit, and when I made a loop with that aggressive kind of pop, it kind of got in the way a little bit. So we're just gonna have to do a muted, like a ghost down hit, and then just play the upstroke, right? Put on a beat, 71 beats a minute, put on a metronome, and whatever it takes to just get that in time, right? Sometimes I'll even pick the pick guard, kind of tap it on my way down. Whatever keeps you honest, right? So we have 7, 7, 6, 5, 7 on D and G, 6 on B, 5 on E. We're gonna do a ghost down hit and an upstroke. We're gonna do 4 of those. Okay, then we're going to go down to C major, G and B on 5, 3 on E, and we're going to do 2 of these. Then we'll go back to D minor, and we'll play 2 more. So 4, 2, 2, that'll be your pattern for the entire song. Okay, make a beat, have a metronome, a drum beat, something going at 71 beats a minute. That way you can stay in time, really try to get those upstrokes on the beat, right? And that's the whole tune. If you don't want to do anything else, that's the whole song, and you know, have a nice day. But then we'll get into, so now let's get into the next part. Let's get into the melody part that he plays in the beginning. Alright, so for the melody part, we're literally just going to be going up and down the D minor scale, right? There's 2 different melodies. There's one that plays throughout, kind of repeats throughout, that is played in the beginning, and then there's the second melody that's played after the chorus each time. And this first one is just walking straight up and down at your 3-note per string D minor scale, not your minor pentatonic, but your 7-note D minor scale. And I like to use an auto wah. I don't know what kind of effect he's using, it's pretty cool, but I'm just going to use an auto wah because it's reggae. I think it sounds cool. So we'll have Alright, so it's the same thing, but the second time has a variation that we change when we get to the end of it. So use your pinky, and we'll just go 10 on the low E, and we'll walk right up 7, 8 to 10 on the A string. We're just going straight D, E, F, G, right out of your D minor scale, right? You're going to start on the second beat, so it's 1. And you start on the end of 1 or 2, however you want to count it, right? Boom. Okay, and after you go 7, 8, 10 on A, we're going to go 7 on D. We're going to hit that. Do that twice. I like to do upstrokes on this one. Then pause, hit it the third time. Then walk down 10 to 8 on A. And then we're going to go 7. We're going to go 1, 1, 2, 3. And then go 8 to 10 on the low E. And that'll be your first melody line, right? Okay, second time, everything in the beginning will be the same, but we're going to end it differently. So the second time. Okay, so second time, 10 on E, then 7, 8, 10 on A. This will all be the same. Then do 3 times D on 7, then 10 on A. Then when we get to 8th fret on A, this is where it'll change. We're going to hit this note twice. Okay, then after 8 twice on A, we're going to go 10 on A, and then a down up on 10, and then 7 once on A, and then 8 to 10 on the low E, right? So we'll have okay, so you can kick on your wall, you play them together. Okay, so that's your main melody line, and then we get into the verse with the verse triad melody. So let's go ahead and get into the verse part. Alright, so when you start singing, we're going to play all these triads that are all C major and D minor. Some of this will be kind of tricky to explain because I'm really not thinking about how I'm playing this. So to try to verbalize it with all these like mutes and down hits and everything, I might kind of fumble through this a little bit. So we're going to just be following the line. If I had all the money in the world, I'd probably burn it all. If I had all the riches in the world, I'd probably burn it down. Whatever he sings, right? So we're just following that. Okay, so the first half, there's like 2 parts to it. So we'll go C major, 9, 8, 8, down, up, and then we'll go D minor, bar G, B, and E on 10. And then we'll do a down, down on 10 on for that D minor. And then you'll do an upstroke back to C major. And then back to D minor. And then we'll do a down, up, down. Upstroke back to C major, 9, 8, 8. And then hit an upstroke again on the D minor, G, B, and E on 10 and slide off of it. So that'll be your line, if I had all the money in the world. And I do all these pulsing things. I really don't know how to explain this. But that's what makes everything sound the way it does, right? So you got to work on that stuff. So that'll be your first line. And then I'll do these kind of mutes. I'll do like 2 muted hits. And then I'll do a mute. And then I'll do an upstroke on C major, 5, 5, 3, G, B, and E. And then I'll slide up into like 9, 8, 8, back up to this C major. Or I'll do a muted hit. Maybe I'll do 2. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to explain this very well. Yeah, I think I slide. Yeah, I'll just slide in, hit that once. And then I'll go back to the C major on 5, 5, 3, hit that once. And then I'll go 7, 6, 5 to D minor, and I'll end on an upstroke, right? repeat all that again, the second time, it's still the same melody. Okay, then the cool part comes in where he's like, 1 in a million, that's really what got stuck in my head. I found myself going around the house just singing like 1 in a million, because the way he sings it's so funny, in a good way, right? So then we're just working out same thing, all the same triads, right? D minor, C major, D minor, right? So we'll have play the same figure twice, but we'll just phrase the C major at the end differently the second time. So we'll have 7-6-5 for D minor. We're going to do a down, down, up, and then another down hit. And then we'll do an upstroke on C major, 5-5-3, G, B, and E. And then a down hit on your D minor triad, 2-3-1, G, B, and E. Okay, so you have... Repeat that same thing again. After you do it the second time, we're going to go into C major, 5-5-3, down, down, up, and then up to C major, 9-8-8, back to C major, to D minor. Okay, so you'd have, when you get out of it, that C major, C major, C major, D minor. Okay? And then you just repeat that same thing again. It's the same figure, but the second time we'll end it differently. We'll go So when we get up here, we'll just do a down up on the C major instead of going. Second time around we go, and that's the only difference, otherwise everything's the same, right? So let's go over all that, both of those parts really slow. I'll try to play it slow. Messing me up when I slow it down. So that's that whole part of that 1 in a million, and then after that, then we get into the into the ending part. So when he says, "Who set the world on fire?" we'll go, we'll have G, B, and E on 10, bar that, down, down, up, then a down hit, then C major, 9-8-8, G, B, and E, then 7-6-5, D minor. So that's that. Who set the world on fire? Then he goes up a register, we'll go to C major. So we'll go 12, 13, 12, just a down, down, up. Then bar G, B, and E on 10 for your D minor. Then add 9-8-8, G, B, and E for your C major. And then bar G, B, and E on 10, just hold that down. Okay, so far we have repeat the first part. We'll go G, B, and E on 10 for that D minor, then 9-8-8 for your C major, and then when we get to this D minor on 7-6-5, this is where it'll change, and he says, "It was me who set the world on fire," right? So we'll go, I'll kind of do a mute and do like a down up strum. So you'll have like 7-7-5 for this, or sorry, 7-6-5 for your D minor, and then we'll go into this C major. It's kind of hard to explain how to get into that. So you just kind of mute it, just a down up, then just hit your C major 5-5-3, and just do like a down up down, pulse it. Then go to D minor 2-3-1 G, B, and E. And then we'll bar D, G, and B on 5 for C major, and then go 7-7-6 for D minor. Okay, so you have. And that'll be the end, right? So that chorus part really slow to the end. You have. Okay, then we get into the second melody part that's played after each chorus. So let's go ahead and get into that melody part now. Alright, so the second melody that happens in the song happens after each chorus, and it's phrased differently. It's in a different spot too. You can kind of get a little tripped up. It's easy to think to keep doing like, but we're changing it, right? We're going so we're changing the whole thing. So I like to kind of palm mute this. I'll have the auto wah on. So I'll palm mute the whole thing. We'll go 10 on D, whatever fingers you want to use, right? So we'll go 10 on D. The way I remember this melody is I say to myself, I'm just a boogeyman, I'm just a boogeyman. So I won't forget how to play it, right? Sometimes you got to come up with stuff and phrase things in your head a certain way so you can remember how the melody goes. So we have 10 on, 12 on D, hit it twice, once and then pause and hit it again. Then go 9 to 10 on G, back to 9, then go back to 10 on D, then hit 12 on D. And once we go back to 12 on D again, I'll hit it once, and I'll do this kind of I'll do like this triplet, and I'll do that. It doesn't do it every time, it just does it like once, but I like to throw it in there so you have, and then you just repeat the same thing. 10, 9 on G, 10 on G, back to 9 on G, back to 12 on D. I don't know why I keep calling 12 10, sorry. So that's the first little part. Then we'll go 10 on D. You can do upstrokes, however you want to do it. It's just 3 kind of pause, like bump, bump, bump. And if you go 10 on D, go to 9 on G, back to 10 on D, back to 12 on D. So that would be your first line. Okay, second time it'll be the same. We'll just change the ending. Alright, so second time around, same thing, 12 on D, twice. Then 9 to 10 on G, back to 9, back to 12 on D. Then hit it, then do that. So you have, then you go 9, 10, 9 on G, back to 12 on D. Then we'll go 12 on G 3 times. I like to use upstrokes. Then 10 on G. Then hit 9 on G, hammer on, pull off 10. And then you land 12 on D. And those are your 2 little melody lines, right? So you'll have like a... You can mess around with that. You don't have to use the wall. You can just... And you can just kind of slide off of it. And that's the whole tune, right? So that's the intro. Those are the chords you need. Those are all the things you need to play the vocal melody and play all the little melodies that go on throughout. It's a really fun song to play. It's great for working on all your timing, all your triads, your right hand rhythm. Just a great way to have some fun, you know, doing some practicing. But that's everything, right? So practice slow, have fun. See you next time.